we should abandon all the habits. But in fact, there are some habits are necessary to cultivate the parami or perfections. So how should we treat these good habits?
Whatever we do, we will use the habit of placing central emphasis on ourselves and others, on our own effort and others' effort, on our own mind and others' mind. Because of these habits, we all are facing mental stress, pressure and problems. Trying to do all good deeds without attachment is good habit. Trying to abstain from all evil things and actions without attachment is also good habit or parami. Trying to keep our mind to be pure and clean without attachment is also good habit. When we are doing good habits, we must try to be doing only without attachment. Trying to abandon our personal habits or habitual actions is saving the power of detachment. Abandoning our personal habits is destroying the idea of I or someone. When we do what we used to do, we are paying attention to our habitual action and ourselves. This is doing with the idea of me or mine. In our community, we all are grasping the idea of I or you, male or female, young or old. Using our own individual personal view is very easy for everyone. That's why trying to abandon our personal habit can cause greater detachment power. Only with that greater power of detachment, we will be able to detach from good habits. Both good habits and our personal habits are necessary to detach. If we are not trying to abandon our personal habits, we will never be able to detach from our habits. The aim of abandoning our own habits is not to attach to our own habit. It doesn't mean to do nothing. To be free from attachment to ourselves and our habits, we must have courage to lose ourselves and our habits. Using our habits without attachment is using only. It is right. Using or doing our habits with attachment is wrong. If we cannot detach from our habits, we will never be able to detach from ourselves. If we cannot lose or abandon our habits, we will not be able to lose or abandon ourselves, our life. Using only, doing only, experiencing only, knowing only, without attachment and misunderstanding as real is right. Using, doing, experiencing, knowing with attachment and misunderstanding as reality is wrong. Grasping and accepting created cause and effect as reality is rejecting the original impermanent nature and original permanent nature. If we reject the original truth and middle way, there is no chance for us to escape from misunderstanding and attachment. Therefore, doing good habits or parami is not for created good result, but for original impermanent nature or nibbana. If we are accepting and grasping created good cause and created good results as ultimate reality, we have no chance to understand the middle way and original truth. That's why Buddha also said, there is no self, just original impermanent nature or constant ceasing pleasant momentary truth. We all need to abandon ourselves and our habits because of misunderstanding of I or you, mine or yours, male or female, living beings or non-living beings. If there is no misunderstanding or non-enlightenment, there will be right understanding and enlightenment. If some of the attachment disappear, some of detachment will replace or appear. If there is no attachment, there will be complete detachment. Complete right understanding and detachment may be the end of the practice of mindfulness and abandonment. This is also the end of middle way. The only middle way will end in enlightenment and detachment. The beginning and the end of other ways is the same, misunderstanding and attachment. The beginnings of the other ways of our habitual action is misunderstanding and attachment. So also, the end of the other ways of our habitual action will be misunderstanding and attachment. The strength or power of misunderstanding and attachment may be different between the beginning and the end. If we see from the creator view or personal view, there is the end in middle way. If we see freely without personal view or created view, there is only Four Noble Truth. Middle way is one of the Noble Truth. This is always true. Four Noble Truths are Dukkha Satya, Samudaya Satya, Magga Satya, and Nirodha Satya. Dukkha Satya is original impermanent nature. Samudaya Satya is misunderstanding and attachment. Magga Satya is the only middle way. Nirodha Satya is original impermanent nature. When Buddha in his teaching disappear, the name of Four Noble Truths may also disappear. But Four Noble Truths behind the name is always true. Four Noble Truth is complete and permanent forever. Buddha discovered Four Noble Truths. That's why he was called Buddha.
So in your teaching, you say that in doing only, we should not think about what to do and how to do. So how can I understand about this? For example, in order to build a school, we should have a plan. We should think about what to do and how to do in order to have good results. Can you explain a little bit about it?
Doing and not doing are to use only without attachment and misunderstanding as reality. Doing is to do only without attachment. Not doing is also to do only without attachment. We are accepting how to do and what to do with attachment. That's why we cannot accept not doing or to abandon doing like this. Because of misusing the created cause, what to do and how to do with attachment, we cannot accept to abandon what to do and how to do. The real problem is misusing the created truth. Meditation methods are also to use only, without attachment. Because of attachment to this method and that method, the problems of how to meditate appear. When we are taught to be mindful on the breath, we must be mindful on the breath. But we must not grasp the method. We must do like this. We must meditate like this, is grasping the method. If we are guided to do like this, we should do like this, with the right understanding, to use only, to do only, without attachment. If we are guided to do like that, we should do like that, with the right understanding, to use only and to do only, without attachment and without misunderstanding as reality. Grasping habit of this is the way, or that is the way, is the cause of attachment to the method. Because of there is no right understanding and detachment, there will be misunderstanding and attachment. If there is right understanding and detachment, there will not be wrong understanding and attachment. The idea of how to meditate is caused by attachment to the method and practice of meditation. If we are guided not to do this, we should not do this, with right understanding, to use only, to do only, without attachment and misunderstanding as reality. When we are guided, don't do that, we should not do that, with right understanding, to use only, to do only, without attachment. If we don't know the truth, there will be misunderstanding of we must not do this and we must not do that will appear. Not doing must be used without attachment. The problem is misusing doing and not doing with attachment. When we are taught to abandon our habits, we must understand, we must try to abandon our habits with right understanding, to use only, to do only, without attachment. We should not misunderstand like that all our habitual actions must be stopped permanently. We can do our habitual action effortlessly. Our habitual actions are no need to do deliberately. The practice of abandoning our habits intends to appear the power of detachment. Our habits are necessary to abandon because of grasping as mine. Grasping use is wrong. If we are not misusing our habits, we will not need to abandon our habits. Even if we can abandon our habits, we will do automatically if we are not mindful. But doing without attachment, doing with understanding and detachment is right. Because of attachment to the habit of thinking how to do and what to do, it is necessary to abandon. If we can abandon this habit, there will be detachment with this habit, and at that situation, doing or not doing is not problems. We should not misunderstand. Abandoning the habit of thinking like this as not to think permanently. There will also be the habit of doing this and doing like this. Habitual actions are also necessary to abandon. We must understand the truth, to use only, to do only, without attachment. We should try to abandon our habitual action with right understanding, to use only, to do only. If we are able to abandon our habits, there will be right understanding and detachment. Doing this and doing like this without attachment is doing only. It is right. To be free from attachment to the doing, we should try to abandon that doing. If there is no habit or no habitual action, there will be no need to abandon. Because there is habit and habitual action, it is necessary to abandon this habit or habitual action. Abandoning practice is to do only, without attachment. The meaning of abandoning practice is to abandon only. It doesn't mean to stop permanently. If we do, we will be able to do. If we abandon, we will be able to abandon. Traditionally, we have only ability to do. We don't have ability to abandon. If we don't have ability to abandon, whatever we do, we must do endlessly. We cannot stop working, hoping, worrying. It is because of no ability to abandon. We will share our values. May all merits we have done till now be related to all sentient beings. May all beings rejoice and share in our blessing.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.